Where were you on January 20th, 2017? You might not remember, but that was the day Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 45th president of the United States. And whether you loved him or hated him, everyone knew this was going to be different. Trump wasn't a typical politician. He promised things no one else would say. Drain the swamp, America first. He was going to shake everything up. And he did. The Republican Party hasn't been the same since. But 9 years later, something strange is happening. A civil war is brewing in the Republican Party.
The main agent in that normalization is Tucker Carlson, who is an intellectual coward, a dishonest interlocutor, and a terrible friend.
Ben Shapiro spent, a decade posing as someone who actually cared about your concerns.
The movement is tearing itself apart. People who were allies are now enemies. His most loyal supporters are being called traitors. Conservative media is at war with itself, and everyone has a different explanation for why. Fox News is saying one thing, Tucker's saying another, and your pastor might even be starting to sound like Ben Shapiro. Now, I don't have a job right now, which means I've been living on X and listening to every single podcast, so you don't have to. And I'm going to break down what's actually happening, because once you see the pattern, you won't be able to unsee it. Let me show you. Okay, so to understand what's happening right now, we need to look at the history that makes it so important. From 2017 to 2020, that was the first term. Trump's in office, and if you were paying attention, you noticed something interesting. MAGA meant different things to different people. Some people wanted tax cuts and conservative judges, some wanted jobs brought back from overseas, some wanted to end foreign wars, some wanted stronger borders, some wanted to own the libs, some wanted to completely reshape government. All different angles, but everyone wore the same hat, literally. And everyone said America first, which was fine. It was great until we actually had to decide which America first policies to implement. 21 to 2024 was the total takeover. Trump's out of office for a bit, but MAGA candidates completely take over the Republican Party, at least on the surface. By 2024, he's back, Republicans control everything, and it looked like complete victory. The establishment was finally defeated. But here's the thing about winning. You actually have to do stuff. You have to make decisions. You have to choose which version of America first you're actually going to follow. And that's when the cracks started showing. And if you want to see just how bad those cracks got, hit subscribe, because 2025 has been absolutely wild, and I'm sure it's just going to get even crazier. So let me walk you through what's been happening in 2025 to create this gigantic split. So the first fracture was really the whole Elon breakdown. Elon gave Trump's campaign $290 million. Then he got appointed to the Department of Government Efficiency role, and people were upset about that, but it felt like the swamp was being drained. Corruption was being uncovered and money was being saved. Then in June 2025, Elon calls Trump's spending bill a disgusting abomination. Trump calls him crazy Elon. Elon says Trump's in the Epstein files, and then announces he's starting a third party. So Trump's biggest donor is now his enemy. Interesting. Then the second fracture was the whole H-1B visa debate, or debacle, whatever. For context, Trump ran on bringing American jobs back to American workers. That was a huge part of the message.
Under my leadership, we're going to take other countries' jobs. Did you ever hear that expression before? Have you ever heard that we're going to take other countries' jobs? It's never been stated before.
Then, we're in November 2025, he's on Fox News. Laura Ingraham asked him about H-1B visas. Just so you know, they let companies hire foreign workers instead of Americans. She says, we have plenty of talented people here. Trump's response is, no, you don't.
If you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
We have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
MAGA social media did not take that well. Where is my president started trending. But here's what's interesting. Elon Musk needs those visas for his companies. So does Peter Thiel. So do most of the tech billionaires in Trump's circle. So there's a conflict here between what was promised to the base and what the donors need. Who wins that conflict? Then there's this really strange situation with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Obviously, we know there was a push to release the Epstein files, and MTG has supported releasing them, but Trump opposed it. And then Trump calls her Marjorie Traitor Greene and says she went far left. And this is crazy because MTG is literally Trump's most loyal supporter, the person who would defend him no matter what. MTG is the person who Democrats call far right, and she's now being called far left by Trump. It was just really weird. What was that? Meanwhile, housing prices are still high. Wages aren't keeping pace with inflation, and the economic boom that was promised, well, a lot of people aren't seeing it. And some of the proposed solutions feel almost insulting, like 50-year mortgages. Sure, you save a few $100s a month on the monthly payment, but you end up paying double in interest over the life of the loan. That's not making housing affordable. Instead, it's kind of like hoping people don't think long term. Then, of course, foreign policy. Trump ran on ending foreign wars. No more endless wars, right? But in 2025, there were military operations in multiple countries, Iran, Venezuela, and pressure to get even more involved in the Israel-Iran conflict. And here's what's strange. It seems like foreign leaders are influencing these decisions more than American citizens are. Oh, and there was the longest government shutdown in US history. 43 days. It was a big back and forth blame game between Republicans and Democrats, but here's what's interesting. Right after the shutdown ended, suddenly, there's this bipartisan push to release the Epstein files. Republicans and Democrats coming together, which they couldn't do to keep the government running, apparently. And now it's passing almost unanimously, even though it's going to implicate a bunch of their colleagues and donors, supposedly. So did they really spend 43 days fighting, or did they spend 43 days figuring out how to manage what was about to come out? I don't know, but the timing is interesting to me. But here's where it gets really interesting. And this is probably affecting your life right now, especially heading into the holidays, where this will likely be the family feud of 2025. So let me arm you with the facts. Conservative media split into two camps. We've got Camp 1, Ben Shapiro, Fox News, Mark Levin, all of these people, they're all saying Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens have gone off the rails and become anti-Semites, can't be trusted. Then we got Camp 2, we got Tucker, Candace, Steve Bannon. They're saying that they're just asking questions and getting destroyed for it. So who's right? Well, let me break this down for you. In early 2025, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens start asking questions. Tucker, why is Israel the one country we can't question? Why do US senators defend Israel's interests more than America's? Candace, why does AIPAC spend over $100 million in US elections? They seem like reasonable questions about foreign lobbying, right? Well, social media started getting flooded with anti-Tucker and Candace rhetoric. They're going off the rails, they've lost it, they're in the deep end, or whatever. They're dangerous, don't listen to them. And then the smear campaign made it to churches.
On Sunday, people went to church, whatever church it is that they attend, whatever denomination, and there were a flurry of pastors that preached to their congregation regarding the evils of, you guessed it, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Again, why are we in the same breath?
Let me just say this. If some of us spent the same amount of time we did on Fox News as we do the Bible, there would be a revival in America today. Some of you listen to Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, and these guys are anti-Semitic. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to say it. They're anti-Semitic, and their rhetoric is dangerous.
Pastors across the country started giving sermons by name, denouncing Tucker and Candace, using the same language, citing the same Bible verse. I will bless those who bless Israel. You've probably heard that a lot recently, because Ted Cruz quoted it to Tucker himself as his reasoning for his unwavering support for Israel.
Growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my... You pull out the phone and use the...
It's in Genesis. But so you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it. And you don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology? I'm confused. What does that even mean?
Tucker.
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two...
Hold on.
I'm not holding on.
Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And what
does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But what, hold on, define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is a majority Christian country.
Define Israel? Do you not know what Israel is? That would be the country you've asked like 49 questions about.
So that's what Genesis, that's what God is talking about.
The nation of Israel, yes.
And so is that the current borders, the current leadership? He's talking about the political entity called Israel?
He's talking about the nation of Israel. Yeah, nations exist, and he's discussing a nation. A nation was the people of Israel.
Is the nation
They're the descendants
God's
of
referring
Abraham.
to in Genesis, is that the same as the country run by Benjamin Netanyahu right now?
Yes, it is.
Now, here's something wild. That interpretation, it comes from the Scofield Bible, published in 1909. Cyrus Scofield was a convicted con artist with no theological training, funded by wealthy Zionists. He created a Bible with commentary notes that reinterpreted ancient promises to the Jewish people, or even just the church, to mean unconditional support for the modern state of Israel, which didn't even exist yet. Israel wasn't founded until 1948. Now, this is documented history. So when pastors give coordinated sermons using the same verses, that's a 100-year-old strategy, and it's still working. The message was clear. These people are dangerous, don't listen to them. But at this point, it was still mostly whispers and warnings. Now we get to summer 2025. Despite all this pressure, Charlie Kirk does something brave. He keeps platforming Tucker at Turning Point events.
It's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that.
In July, he hosted a debate between Dave Smith and Josh Hammer, specifically about America's relationship with Israel.
And some of my greatest experiences have been in the Holy Land and defending Israel. But as you know, this is a very hot topic on campus, and increasingly a hot topic in conservative circles. And I thought, hey, let's lean into that disagreement. Let's lean into that debate. Let's have two people that don't agree on this topic, that are some of the best defenders of the position when it comes to Israel, when it comes to the 12-day war, when it comes to whether or not we should be supporting or sending aid to Israel. Because we as conservatives, we want to have this debate. We don't want to just all of a sudden say, oh, you're not allowed to say that. No, we want to foster an environment where we get to the truth. We want to find the best ideas and have the best ideas win.
He's not backing down, and privately he starts telling people, I'm reconsidering my position on this. Maybe unconditional support isn't what's best for America. The pressure on Charlie intensifies. This brings us to September 8th, 2025. Charlie loses a $2 million donation from tech billionaire Robert Shillman. The reason? Well, refusing to drop Tucker. Charlie had a choice. Take the money, stay quiet, play the game, or stand on principle. And he chose principle. But then September 10th, 2 days later, Charlie Kirk is assassinated.
Conservative political activist Charlie Kirk is dead, assassinated while speaking on a college campus in Utah.
31 years old, gone. And this is where it escalates to a whole new level. After Charlie died, the people he'd confided in, the people he'd told about his changing views, started denying it publicly.
Charlie's heart was genuinely in the right place when it comes to the Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel, and his heart was in the right place because his reading of the Bible was in the right place.
Charlie never wavered on Israel. He was always 100% supportive. They're rewriting his story, erasing what he actually believed. And Candace Owens noticed, and she started asking questions. Why are you lying about what Charlie told you? Then the cancel campaign went completely nuclear. Ben Shapiro calls Tucker an intellectual coward on his show. Republican conferences with people holding Tucker's not MAGA signs. Then there's this whole widespread social media influencer propaganda campaign to post pro-Israel content. Tucker then labeled the most dangerous anti-Semite in America for continuing the conversation and interviewing Nick Fuentes. And then Ben Shapiro even went on Megyn Kelly's live tour to pressure her to denounce them.
You and I differ on our angle with regard to, for example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But what?
Because
like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, yes.
Okay. Like I said, I don't take in that content, which is an honest statement. I don't have time to watch Candace's show.
I believe you. I believe you. But the point that I'm making is that when
what I understand
friendship
Candace
should
to
not,
have
in
been
our
doing.
business, I think it's important. Listen,
Candace
friendship
and I
should
are not
trump.
friends. We don't even know each other.
I understand, but even with Tucker, friendship should not trump our manifest requirement to speak out when people do and say things that are both detrimental to conservatism and morally wrong.
Okay, so I don't totally disagree, but I think the way of handling that, at least for me, is much different.
It's just not even enough to stay neutral anymore. You have to actively participate in destroying them, or you become a target. And they're still using religion. Candace is being called anti-Christian for investigating her friend's murder and asking why people are lying about his beliefs. Like, that makes no sense. Okay, so let me tell you what I think is happening here. Because like I said, once you see the pattern, you really can't unsee it. And you will see it everywhere. So I think most Americans want the same basic things. We want good jobs, affordable housing, safe, clean communities, not being at war constantly, politicians who represent us, not donors, common sense things. Those aren't left or right, just literally common sense. And MAGA's America First principle was supposed to mean exactly that. Put Americans first. American workers, American interests, American families. But in practice, look at what actually happens. American workers are told they're not talented enough while foreign workers get visas. Billions going overseas while Americans just still struggle with housing. There's more military operations, not really fewer. And foreign lobbies are spending unlimited money in our elections. Anyone who asks questions gets destroyed financially and their character is just assassinated. So here's my take. America First turned into America First except when it conflicts with our donors, except when it conflicts with Israel, except when billionaires need something, except. That's not America First, that's the same system we've always had, just with different branding. And here's what makes me angry. Instead of letting us have this conversation, they make us fight each other. We're arguing about whether Tucker's anti-Semitic instead of asking why foreign lobbies spend $100 million in our elections. We're fighting about who's really MAGA instead of asking why the promises to working Americans aren't being kept. We're told to keep focusing on fighting the left rather than hold our own leaders accountable. We're divided into camps and teams so we don't notice that all the camps and teams are being played by the same donor class. That's what I think is happening. And I think Charlie Kirk figured it out too. So yeah, the right is imploding, and I don't think anyone's trying to stop it because maybe it needs to implode. I believed in MAGA and everything that it stood for, and I still do, but I don't think that's what we got. Instead, we got the same donors, foreign influence, broken promises to working people, just with the MAGA hat on. And if you're feeling confused right now because you still love President Trump, but you're feeling a little let down, that's okay. We're allowed to like someone and still criticize them and hold them accountable. The left may suffer from toxic empathy, but it's really feeling like the right is suffering from toxic loyalty. You don't want friends or supporters that just go along with whatever you're doing. A true friend holds you accountable and reminds you of your core values when it seems like you've kind of gone astray. And that is what Tucker, Candace, MTG, and others who are feeling let down by this current administration are trying to do for President Trump, on behalf of the American people. So if you're fighting with your family members, if you don't know who to trust anymore, I get it, me too. But here's what I know. We can't build something better if we're too busy fighting each other over who's loyal to a brand that stopped meaning what it promised. The question isn't, are you MAGA? The question is, what do you actually want for this country? Because I think most of us want the same things. We're just being told that we don't. And if you like this video, you will probably like this video too. It explains why New York City elected a Democratic socialist, and it's maybe not the reason you think. Thanks for watching.